Up.
Yours.
You son of a bitch.
I was going to go with Side Down. Boy, you turn to me.
Up yours.
And in a way.
Oh, damn. Up all y'all.
Yours.
You talk about Cyrus all the time. You should be a goddamn shame of yourself.
Up and away, that's the first thing you think of.
No, it
up,
doesn't. No.
up, and away.
Yours.
Anyway, Carlisle, tell us about this movie, please.
Tell us about which movie.
I'm not doing this, all right? You know good and damn well what movie I'm talking about.
Damn! My best laid plans foiled.
Exactly.
No, of course, we're talking about Up, and Up is freaking awesome. It's the new Pixar film.
Wait, you don't even like Pixar movies. What are you talking about?
No. Rewind a few years and notice that I've really liked. This is the third in a row that I've really liked.
He likes the lame
It's
ones.
not that I came around. Okay, a few years ago, up until a few years ago, Pixar was under Disney and had to do whatever Disney wanted. They wanted to make Finding Nemo, and Disney said, no, we don't want this fucking little fish movie. We want you to make the sequel to Toy Story. So find a way to do a sequel to Toy Story. And they're like, well, all right, we'll put off the fish movie till later. That's why we got Finding Nemo later. Finally, Pixar was going to split from Disney, and part of the deal was that they retained total control of their stuff, and at the same time they also got control of the animation section of Disney. If that would happen, they'd stick with Disney. It happened. Now they have total control, and all of their movies since have been great. Their last one under Disney was Cars, which is so clearly a Disney idea movie, whereas everything since, WALL-E, Ratatouille, and now Up have been fantastic.
Wow.
And this is on par with that.
You're completely mistaken, in fact. You're almost entirely wrong with your information.
Wait, what?
Cars was the biggest pet project of John Lasseter.
Oh, was
that
it
had a Pixar.
Lasseter's
Yeah,
From
yeah,
the
it was.
very
It
beginning.
totally is.
He was obsessed with that idea. And Toy Stories, they've been saying from the beginning they wanted to do 3
But
because
they didn't want
Lasseter
to.
loves
No,
the
but
concept.
they didn't want to do the
Up
sequel.
yours!
Hold on. They didn't want to do the sequel right away.
That's
They
not
wanted to do
true.
Finding Nemo.
That's not true.
Finding Nemo got pushed
They
back.
always said they wanted to do Finding Nemo, but they were always excited about Toy Story 2. That was not Disney. Just saying. I love Pixar, so
Fuck you!
I even saw the damn documentary, motherfucker.
Point is,
Well, Carlisle, please continue with your inaccurate.
My
review
inaccurate-
of-
only the history of. We're talking about his review of the film, which I'm sure is wonderful.
no. I got nothing. No, but ever since Pixar got, full total control, all of their movies have been fantastic. They've been much more mature, they've been much more interesting, and they've been kind of groundbreaking at times. And here we have them doing something they hadn't totally done before, which is tell the story of humans. Now, granted, it's still the same old Pixar model. It's, two unlikely buddies thrown together on an adventure, and by the end they're going to become best friends, and lots of strange stuff's going to happen to them. But it's really, really good.
Damn, when I said tell us about this movie, you could have been like, first it was the Big Bang, and then the Earth was falling.
It was me who delayed it. It was my fault. I claim responsibility for that.
No, actually, this time it's all Leon.
Oh,
for
was it?
saying,
Okay.
Man, you don't like Pixar. I've liked the last few Pixar movies.
Okay,
Yeah, you're right. It's Leon's fault.
I didn't, I didn't,
Blame Leon.
I didn't like Cars.
No, you're right. This is one. I would dare say that this is probably their most mature movie, and it's still a family film. It's still rated G. But within the first 10 minutes of this movie, we get the story of this guy named Carl, who starts out as a kid. And he loves exploring, and he meets this girl as a child. And within the next 10 minutes, we get them growing with each other. They get married, and I'm not ruining anything here because eventually he has to deal with his wife dying. And one of the things that they want to do together is they want to travel. Now, if I'm correct, one of the places they want to go is South America.
Well, no, they wanted to go to South America, and when they were kids, his wife always dreamed of building a house on top of these famous falls that their favorite explorer, that their worship of this explorer brought them together, set out to explore, and they wanted to go there. So he decides he's going to take his house and put his house on those falls just like she wished.
Typical white people.
Yeah, I was going to say. So she dies, and he has a nervous breakdown.
No, I was thinking more like they go to fantastic tribal lands and raise them and build on top of them.
His wife dies. He loses his fucking mind.
I'm just saying. I mean, your wife dies, so you naturally say, "Okay, I'm gonna strap a bunch of balloons in my house and fly to South America."
Now,
I don't see that as the logical progression from one to the next without a nervous breakdown in between.
He was just carrying out her wish the best way he could.
Sometimes nervous breakdowns can be cute.
Like when you put like 1 million balloons above your house and fly your house
Now,
to
granted,
South America.
This was out of an act of desperation too, because the home he has now is about to be taken away from him, and he doesn't know how. In addition to losing his home, he realizes I've never fulfilled the dream that my wife had of traveling and building his home. So, out of an act of desperation, he just like overnight blows up 1 million balloons, ties them to his house, and the house up and floats away.
You know, honestly, he could have sold it for just under market value, made a tidy enough profit to fly there in style and buy a villa because the rate of the dollar is so much higher.
Oh,
in
shut
South
the fuck
America.
up. It's a kid's movie.
God, that's what I'm like. God damn you! Just go with this.
I'm saying, you know that real estate is worth a lot of money on top of that waterfall. If you went down there with a little bit of money, no one's claimed it. You just raise all that shit out of the way, put up a series of condos, and
Dude, your only neighbor would be Richard Branson. Hanging out there. If he only got crazy enough to be down there.
Because I'm thinking, he instead of like buying another house, he blew all of his money on balloons.
The bank comes by for their mortgage payment, and they're like, we're looking at like 3 mortgage payments just in balloons right now.
Yeah, you fucking fool! Put his ass in a nut house.
Hey, that's what we call a balloon payment.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I got it out. That's kind of funny.
it is kind of funny to be honest.
Okay, so the thing is we talked about this like 5-6 months ago when I saw 45 minutes of this at Button-Umathon. The second 45 minutes are even better than the first half. Like the jokes, the movie gets funnier. Normally these jokes start running out and they just kind of finish off the plot. Here, we're introduced to a whole new character and a whole new series of characters that we haven't really gotten to know. In the second half of the film is so goddamn funny. Everything with the dogs in this movie. The dogs make this movie.
Well, let's explain about that. This is the beauty of this film. It starts out kind of as a clear-cut, kind of realistic story of a guy losing his home, losing his wife, and wanting to do before he ends up dying. And once those balloons go up in the air, it gets crazier. He ends up with a stowaway, a little young Cub Scout. And of course, being a Pixar film, they have to have a character for kids to
so he
identify
doesn't
with.
rape the Cub Scout?
No, man. No, he does not.
Because he wasn't like a former priest or nothing. Or a scoutmaster. All right.
Jesus Christ,
checking.
what kind of movies do you watch, motherfucker?
I don't know.
Jesus.
That's what I got from the trailer. I thought that was what
Yeah,
it was
they're in the
about.
house, and the old guy's like, "No one can hear you now."
Well, kid, this just ain't your day, is
No,
it?
but when they finally land in South America, they run into these dogs that have these collars that have been designed to translate their barks.
Well, that's the thing about this movie. Like they end up getting stranded because the balloons pop. They end up being they land somewhere in South America where they have no idea where they are. At this point,
They know exactly where they are. They're almost to the falls, and they have to walk their house across this plateau to get to the falls.
Wait,
But
an
when I
old
s-
man and a kid have to walk their house across
He said all the balloons pop, and they don't. It's still floating, but it's floating very low above the ground, and they're dragging the house.
But when I say they don't know where they are, it is a weird exotic land. They don't know anything about it, and it's at this point that you start to meet crazy characters that, when you describe it, it sounds like it's nuts, but it works somehow. They first run into this exotic bird with this personality of its own that begins to like follow the little kid around, and then out of the blue comes this dog with and you think you hear a person at first talking, and you think it's the owner. It's the collar on the dog talking, and this dog, whatever he's thinking, is translated through the collar. Now, at this point, I didn't see any more. I saw 45 minutes of the movie, but I can tell you, when he was describing it to me, I said, "This sounds fucking nuts, and there's no way all this could work together."
Is there a Son of Sam joke at some point? That's
You
all.
know what? Somebody was bound to make that.
The beauty of this is that what you're talking about is Doug the dog, and Doug the dog is the main dog character, and there's a whole mess of other dogs. There's a whole huge pack of all these dogs that have collars.
Wait, South America. This sounds like some Nazi experiment.
No, not exactly.
You're just going with the darkest possible.
No.
version
Except
of
the
these
thing
events.
is, this time he's actually kind of close. The thing is there's this character that comes in later in the film that is an explorer from that era. And the thing is everything, he flies around in a blimp, like an old school, like
Ooh, Reese Ifans. You remember that movie where he strapped those balloons to his lawn chair?
Danny Deck chair.
Danny Deck chair. Is it Danny Deck chair?
No, it's not. But so Doug the dog is actually, he turns out to be the most memorable, lovable character in this movie. He's definitely the most quotable. This is me and some friends who saw this film a month ago. We've been quoting it to each other ever since. And everyone else around us is like, what's so funny? It's like, you'll get it soon enough.
Yeah.
This character is really adorable. And this is where all the humor really starts to come out. And everything with the dogs is just gut-bustingly hilarious. This is fall out of your seat funny.
Yeah,
at
because
times.
there's not just Doug the dog. There's they have a whole pack of dogs.